let's just take one example, just as an illustration. The case of Gate Gourmet last summer. You all know the facts of that case, the way that the workers were sacked, having assembled in the canteen to discuss, merely to discuss, how they were going to resist the importation of agency staff on the same morning. It was the 10th of August last year. They were told over by megaphone that unless they returned to work within 3 minutes, they would all be dismissed. The employers then, in fact, dismissed them all. And those that weren't there and came to work the next morning were told in the car park that they too would be dismissed. Now, the injustice of that struck a chord with British working people, and that's the reason why we are now in a position to argue for a trade union freedom bill. Because in Britain, all forms of solidarity action are unlawful. Now, there are some trade unionists who believed in 1997 that a Labour government would free us from those trade union laws. They, of course, were trade unionists who don't read the Times newspaper because it's published by Murdoch. Because if they had read the Times newspaper, they would have read an article by Tony Blair on the 31st of March 1997. And in that article, he said, amongst other things, that even after the changes to Labour law, even after the changes that we do propose, British law on trade unions will remain the most restrictive in the Western world. Now just think about that. British law on trade unions will remain the most restrictive in the Western world.